Okay traders, welcome back to my channel. This is Lazarus Capital. So today we'll be starting our weekly forex forecast for the coming week. So let's just jump right into the chart so that we can commence, because I'm going to be covering all the pairs I'm trading in this video. I won't break it down, so it's gonna take a bit longer. I encourage you to stick to the end and drop me a comment and your takeaway, and I hope this video helps you. Okay, today we'll be looking at the Bitcoin BTC USD. As we all know, I trade on the 4-hour time frame. Pretty much do my analysis on the 4-hour time frame also, but sometimes I might just go to the daily or the weekly to get a bigger picture of where the market is heading to, or what the market is trying to do, especially when the 4-hour time frame is not too clear. If it's not too clear, I might just go back to the daily time frame to see. But if it's clear for me on the 4-hour time frame, I just stick to it and do what I have to do. Okay, so remember last week I told us that the Bitcoin, I expect the Bitcoin to come to this area. This is where I expect the Bitcoin to drop from. But I told us that this coming year will take time, because I expect to see some back and forth at this point, before price will eventually come here. And we can see that's exactly what the market is doing. So I expect to see some range. After some range, which you can also call it accumulation. From there, I want to see a manipulation to this up, like something like this, a move to this point, then from there start to drop back down. So, and it's not doing the accumulation, so I expect it to come here. But before it will come here, I still expect the market to, I told us last week that I'm expecting the market to create a false resistance area at this point. I'm expecting the market to create a false resistance area at this point. The market gets here, I'm expecting it to create a false, there are people selling this market at this point now. So their stop losses are in between here. The market will come here, take them out, and from here it will start coming down. But it won't start going like we're going down from here. It will still come and go back up. This is where I'll be waiting for the market to get to. When it gets to this point, that's where I want to start. I want to start shorting the market to go down. But nevertheless, from this point, if I get an entry, I'm going to sell. But it will just be a small sell, because the main sell will start from this 78.9 something plus. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'll be looking at. So let's move over to the daily time frame. Let me show you guys something. So as you can see on the daily time frame, overall I'm expecting the market to come to this area, around this area, so I'm expecting the market to drop. It still remains some few pips for it to do that. So I expect it to pull back a bit up, then from there, that's where it will start to come down. So back to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, so in the coming days, when the market opens from this point, if I get a sell entry, I will take exit somewhere around this point. But if I get a sell entry from here, that's where I will take my main sell from. TP1 here, then TP2 will be at that daily time frame level I showed us. TP2 will be at this point. So the analysis and the trade plan I gave us for last week for Bitcoin has not changed. Like I told us earlier, that the 4-hour time frame, if you are trading the 4-hour time frame, you should understand the type of trade you are doing. If you are trading the 4-hour time frame, you are a swing trader, and some of your trades will take time to mature, and that is why patience is very, very important in trading. If you want to have consistency in trading, you must really be patient. If you are not patient, you cannot achieve success in this game. Once you draw your trade plan, you must wait for the market to come to you. Don't force the market, don't rush the market. You must be able to respect your plan. As a 4-hour time frame trader, sometimes you might not get trade in a week. Like I told us, this Bitcoin, to get to this level will take time. So that is when some traders have problem, because they wait and they become impatient and they start to force the trade. They start to go to the lower time frame to look for entries. So you must wait. Like this Bitcoin analysis I did now since last week, price have not got it to our level. We have to keep waiting. You have to keep waiting. So yeah, so that's it for Bitcoin. The analysis we did last week, is pretty much still active. We are still waiting for price. I want to see price take out all these people. You see from this place now, there's some people who sold this market here, some sold this market here. All their stop losses are here. The market will come here and take them out and may give us an entry from here. If I take that entry, it will be a short one. I will just exit somewhere around here. Then I expect the market to go back up again, continue its ranging. But when the market gets to this point, now, if I take an entry here, that is where I will be targeting my main, targets. TP1 around there, then TP2 around there. Do you understand me, guys? Yeah, so for Bitcoin, we'll still be waiting for price to pull back up. Entry will be at 74,599. If Bitcoin gives you an entry here, look for somewhere around these areas, maybe like 67,297 to exit. Let it continue its build up. When the price now gets to 78,879, around 78,879, from this point where you take an entry, TP1 will be here, then TP2 will be at this point, 58,611. So that is it for Bitcoin. Let's move over to the next pair, which is the EURUSD. So this is the EURUSD. The trade plan I gave us for last week is still active. The trade plan I gave us for last week is still active. Remember, I told us that the EURUSD, after the buyers come in, the sellers is still going to bring this price down, because look at these sellers that came all the way, that came down from this point. They are still active. So I told us last week that once the buyer comes in, I want to see the sellers come back in. But how will I know if these sellers are serious? Is if they are able to close below this area. If the sellers are able to close below this area, then I will know they are serious. Because guys, you must understand that as long as price is trading above this area, the buyers are still in charge. As a matter of fact, as long as price is still trading above this area, 1.16695, the buyers are still in control of this market. As long as price is trading above, I repeat, as long as price is trading above 1.6695, here that I have my horizontal line, my horizontal 2, as long as price is trading above 1.6695, the buyers are still in control of the market, because officially the EURUSD is in an uptrend. So as long as price is still trading above 1.6695, the buyers are still in control of the market. The buyers came in from this point and they moved the price back up to this point around 1.20735. But the sellers came in strongly. Now I told us that despite the fact that this market is in an uptrend, if the buyers come in, these sellers will still come back in, because they can't just give up this move. If the sellers come in, they will raise a resistance and they will try to bring this price back down. That's what I told us last week, and this is exactly what the sellers are doing. You can see the buyers came in and you can see the sellers, they come back in. But how do I know if the sellers are serious with this move that they started? The only way we know they are serious is if they can close below this level. If the sellers can close below, I'm not even talking about this level. If the sellers can close below this level, then I will know they are serious. If they can't go below this level, then I'll just know they're just flattering to deceive. And with what I'm seeing now, just this candle is very strong, but after this candle, they come, buyers come, they are not showing any sign of seriousness. Nevertheless, at the meantime, the sellers are still fighting to defend their territory. The sellers are still fighting to defend their territory. What do I expect in the coming week? Already we are seeing some weakness from the sellers here. If they get to this point and they continue with this their weakness and the buyers come in, I will join the buyers. I repeat, if the sellers get to this point and they continue this their weakness and the buyers come in strongly, I will join the buyer. These buyers that made this move here, if the sellers continue with this their weakness and they got to this point and the buyers come in, these buyers now they come in strongly, I will join the buyers to take this price back to the upside. So basically, the trade plan we gave for last week for Euro USD is still intact. It's still intact. So I'll be looking to buy the Euro USD at this level around 1.829 plus 1.8254, around this area. If the buyers, if the sellers come in here and they continue with this their weakness and I see a bullish entry confirmation, I'm going to buy the Euro USD at 1.8264, around this area. It might not be, it won't be an exact point, but around this area, if I see the buyers coming, I will buy the Euro USD. TP1 will be at this point 1.19168 and TP2 will be here 1.20359. I repeat, the plan for the Euro USD, as I gave us last week, is still intact. The market is doing what we expect it to do. If it comes down to this support area at 1.8254, around this region, and we'll see the buyers coming strongly, these buyers and these buyers that were here before, if we see them coming strongly at this point, we'll join them. TP1 will be here 1.19148 at this resistance, back to this resistance. Then TP2 will be at this point 1.20369. Okay, so let's move over to the next pair, which is gold. Okay, we can see for gold, the trade plan we do for last week is still intact. I told us that I expect the sellers to bring this price back down. You can see the price market is kind of ranging at this point. I told us these sellers that came down here, they are still very much alive. But how will I know if they are serious? Is if they can go below this level. They can go below this level. I will share with you how I come about. In fact, I will just share with you guys my the logic behind my trading. I will share with you guys the logic behind my trading. Guys, you need to understand that trading is a game of, is a battle between the buyers and the seller. It's a war of price. To put it that way, it's a war of price between the buyers and the sellers. And when the buyers come in, I want to see, I take the area where the buyers come in, like I call it the line of departure. Line of departure. These are line where the attack originated from. Take it as a battle. The buyers and the seller, they are in a battle, they are in a war front. For the buyers now, this is the line of departure. This is the line of departure for them. So I want to look at this point as a line of departure. You can call it a supply area also if you want to. Line of departure. Then, when I've seen this line as a line of departure, I'll say to myself that, okay, this is the line of departure. As long as this line is still holding, this market is bullish. For the sellers, this is a line of departure. This is this supply area here. I said, okay, as long as this supply area, this line of departure is still holding, the sellers can still come back in. But since we are in an uptrend and we get this line of departure, okay, I say yes, as long as this line of departure is holding, we are in an uptrend. There's another thing again I look at again that I call stronghold. In the battlefield, there's something we call stronghold. These are places where, you know, these are strong areas that is difficult for the enemies to break. These are strong areas that is difficult for the enemies to break. That if the enemies can break this area, if they can breach this area, then there is a problem for their rivals. Do you understand me? So if this is our line of departure, then I'll look for a support area that I can take as my stronghold. For me, this is a stronghold for the buyers. This is the line of departure. This is a stronghold for them. They will defend this stronghold with everything they got. And if I take my Fibonacci, you can see 61.8. This area aligns with it. 50, 61.8. Take it from here. You can see 61.8. This area aligns with 61.8. If I decide to take this from here to here, you see this area also aligns with 61.8 level. Let me just extend all this level down here. And you can see this area is a good support area. You see, market move up the way to the upside from here, and from here we'll source. There's a resistance, there's a support here, there's a support here, there's a support here. I'm expecting this market to come back down to this area and give us an entry. You understand? So if I want to use the military terms for this situation now, this is the point of departure for the buyers, and this is the stronghold of the buyers. I want the price to come to the stronghold of the buyers. That is where I know the buyers will come in, and that is where I know they have an advantage to push back, to repel the attack of the sellers. So I want to wait for them here to come back. And guys, another thing again is that I consider myself to be a mercenary commander. How do I mean? Mercenaries are people who they are paid to go to war. You know, they pay them to go to war. You are in a battle now, you need people that will fight that battle for you, and you pay a mercenary to come and fight for you. I consider myself as a mercenary commander. I have troops that are under my command. So being a mercenary commander, I am neutral in this battle between the buyers and the sellers. I deploy my troops to any party or any group I think have the upper hand of winning the battle. I don't commit my troops to a side I know is going to lose. I commit my troops to a side I know they have the high probability of winning. Do you understand? So I see myself as a mercenary commander. Now, when I analyze the battle between the buyers and the sellers, I want to commit my troops to the side I'm sure are going to win the battle. And I want to commit the troops from a point I know that I know the chances of us winning is high. So that is why location is very, very important. I want to deploy. I've seen this battle. I know that the buyers have an upper hand of winning this battle. But I don't just want to deploy my troops from any angle. I want the battle to get to this stronghold of the buyers. That is when I want to deploy my troops. Do you understand me? So I wait for the battle to get to this stronghold of the buyers. From there, if I get a buy signal, I will execute. So for the gold, I'm waiting for the price to come to this area. 48.30. If price comes to this area 48.30, I wait for a buy signal. I execute. TP1 will come back to this resistance at 50.72. Then TP2 will be at 55.98. So gold, I'll be waiting for it to come down to support area at 48.30. TP1 50.69 and TP2 55.90. Stop loss below here 48.42. Stop loss will be below there. Might be too much. You can take your stop loss around this area 42.44. TP1 here and TP2 here. Okay, cool. So let's move to the next pair, which is the Nasdaq.